What is up, everybody? Thank you for joining us on another episode of the Three Admirals. As always, this episode is brought to you by House of Otaku. Head over to House of Otaku on Instagram or hit us up on just search houseofotaku.com and it'll come up on Google. But yeah, as always, I'm joined by Josh and Kevin. Say what's up, boys.
What's going on, everyone?
What's going on? What's going on?
Chapter 944. We got a little bit early today, so we got blessed a little bit by the One Piece gods. But Josh, did you want to get us started with summary?
For sure. That was a great intro, as always. Thank you. As you said, we got blessed today with an early chapter. That's always a nice thing, moving into the weekend. And this is 944, so the countdown to chapter 1000 begins. We're almost there, boys. We did miss out on the cover story last time, so let's not miss it this week. Looks like we're on the final chapter of the Veg cover story, finally. But something interesting, seems as though they are being chased, and I'm not entirely sure who they're being chased by, whether that's pirates, whether that's Marines, I'm not sure. But who knows, maybe this could direct them into Wano. Do you guys have any thoughts on that?
Has a passionate lover of the Gang Beji cover story, and I don't say this jokingly. That's a Marine boat calling it. That's Marines right there. They're escaping them. Beji don't run from no pirate.
So is that, are they coming to Wano?
Now, don't go. I'm not gonna say all this.
Okay.
But there is that theory that they will all be there. But Jerome, take it away. I wouldn't discount it, but I'm not sure. Jerome.
Yeah, I'm starting to be convinced more and more that it is a Marine ship, like you said before, Kevin. The last time we did see them, they were getting chased by Marines, so that is the most likely thing. Like in this scan, the flags look black. You don't see too many black Marine flags, but hey, the ship itself does kind of look like a Marine ship, so you could be onto something, Kevin. But moving on with the chapter, Josh, pick us up from the roof.
For sure. So yes, as you mentioned, we are now on the roof, and Kiku got some first aid. Big brother
roof is on fire.
Big brother Izo coming to his little brother's aid. Gave him a little bit of 10. Kinemon coming in clutch, stopping the bleeding. That was pretty cool to see. But I think the biggest takeaway is that Kaido mentions that I guess we could have assumed this, but he's mentioning that he had fought with Whitebeard and Roger in the past. So hopefully if we get a Kaido flashback, which I'm sure we will, we might get to see some of that. That'd be pretty cool. But Kaido reverts back to his human form. So warm-up is done. I think that's it for the scabbards. I think hopefully maybe in the next chapter or two we might get they might start falling like flies, but who knows, we'll see. Moving on forward.
Josh, I gotta bring it back 1 second, and you actually pointed this out before, but Kiku's got a sword. I don't know where it's from, but it looked like last chapter that Kiku's sword did get cut in half, but all of a sudden she either got one from someone else, or maybe she had a second one. What do you guys think happened with that?
I'm actually going back to the last chapter, and yeah, we did mention that before, and the sword is gone. And again, I know that the scabbards are all super, they loved Odin, and he had two swords. So I'm not entirely sure if Kiku always had two swords or if Kinemon had given one to her. I didn't look too much into that, but yeah, I don't think Oda makes too many mistakes. Hopefully that'll be cleared up. What do you think, Kevin?
Yeah, I think I think I always saw Kiku with two swords, but you're right. I think it'll get cleared up later on. To tell you the truth, what's coming to my mind right now is I feel like this is one of those times when the anime will definitely clear this up a little better.
Sure.
Yeah, but I want to circle back a little bit, and this is my own personal thing. I want to put a little respect on the scabbards. Kaido is looking serious, so it's not looking too good. But just like Kinemon said, Prime Kinemon here. He said, "Don't flatter yourself. Being killed by you would do us no honor." So let's not count him completely out. I still think, because Kaido's looking very clean, and I still think that he's looking really clean.
He's looking clean.
He's looking really clean, and I'm fair. So I still think the scabbards will go in and do some damage.
You think there's a scabbard who can survive a Thunder Bagua?
Now, look, I'm not gonna go that far. I'm not gonna go that far. I'm not.
That's okay. It's okay. We're
I'm
bringing
not-
us back to the recap.
Bring us back, bring us
Josh, why don't you pick us up from inside the castle? They're on the first floor.
Yeah, we're on the first floor now. So, I mean, judging by the pacing, I know it's only been a couple of chapters, but who knows? We might be getting to a floor each chapter. That would bring us to level 5 by chapter 998, just 2 away from 1000. So, do you think chapter 1000 is going to be the Luffy vs. Kaido standoff? I mean, I wouldn't be too. What do you guys think? Before I continue here, what do you guys think?
I think he's setting the table for. I think he's setting the table for possibly even like we could get that new form possibly at 1000. That would be really interesting. Maybe he has a small clash with Kaido at 999, and then in chapter 1000 he pulls out a new form. That'd be nice. But he's definitely setting the table for something. I mean, obviously everybody knows chapter 1000 is going to be lit, but based on them going up at least one level of floor, things are looking spicy right now.
Very spicy.
Very, very spicy. What I'm seeing on my end is I just see subtle hints of what Oda's trying to say, right to your point, actually to support your point. Every chapter before that, if I'm not mistaken, you get a small scene of Luffy just running up another floor or running up another level. Like sometimes it didn't even make sense in some chapters why they showed Luffy, because all they really showed him was just walking through. So I think that really does mean that we are probably going to see Luffy progress one floor per chapter, or maybe something along those lines. And maybe my sense to that is I think it's going to be the face-off of actual Luffy and Kaido seeing each other face to face at the chapter 1000. But let's not forget that there's still Law, Kid, nowhere to be found. So
no idea where these guys are.
No idea.
It has been a lot, like 4 or 5 chapters. We haven't gotten any of them. But that being said, we don't want to get too caught up here. So I mean, we get a little bit of Sanji, Jinbei, and Luffy once again. We get introduced to 2 new headliners, Hamlet and Fortrix, the giraffe and Chicken Smile. At first, they seemed like they might have been able to give the boys a little bit of a hard time, but that was a joke. They got paneled. They got paneled, but I mean, we don't got time to waste on these guys anyways. Queen is attacking friend and foe alike. I mean, this just seems to be like his character. He's making a game out of it, very similar to the whole thing in Udon, the whole samurai game that he played with Luffy and Boss Hirogoro. And so this is very much within his character, and this will most likely be the downfall of the Beast Pirates. Basically, with these bullets, whoever they hit, they turn into an ice demon, and they can't control who they attack, and they will die within an hour if they aren't cured. So, Dr. Chopper is on the block here. This reminds me kind of Chopper's moment against Dr. Hogback in Thriller Bark. Chopper really doesn't like human life being played with. He's super against it, so we can really see this is Chopper's time to shine. Maybe we can talk about this later. I don't know if you guys like this too much, but it seems as though Chopper is basically, that's his role now in the New World, whereas more so in Paradise or the Part 1, he was actually getting a lot of action. He had a few fights, and I'm kind of missing that, but this is a part of his dream. He wants to be a doctor that can cure anything, and so I'm still okay with this. Something interesting is that Queen provides a poo with the antidote, and he makes a really subtle comment that if he lets it get away, then he's on the chopping block. So I know Jerome's a really big believer in all the supernovas teaming up against Kaido, and I think this is a way of, because Apu's obviously going to lose the antidote, and he might just be, Queen just might turn his back on Apu, and this really might turn Apu to turn on the Beast Pirates. We know pirate alliances usually don't end well, so this might just be a way of Oda getting Apu on our side for the last fight. And if you guys don't have anything else to say in regards to the whole Queen situation, we can kind of segue into Yamato, Shinobu, and Momonosuke. We do learn that Yamato was in fact at Odin's execution, and I know that a lot of people on Reddit, Discord have theorized that Yamato was one of the people who were there. That is confirmed. I haven't actually gone back to look at that chapter to see if we can point him out, but maybe we can do that at another point. And I mean, pretty cool to see Yamato is a tank just like Kaido, able to take that explosion from the armored unit. Seems like not even phased. Really cool to see. I'm super on board. I want Yamato on the Straw Hats. And we really might get to see what Sasaki is made of. Looks like Oda is setting up that as the first fight amongst the Tobi Robo. So far we got Yamato versus Sasaki. We got Nami versus Ulti or Page One, and then we got Usopp as well in that mix. So we really got two Straw Hats, one potential Straw Hats fighting the Flying Six. That might leave the other ones also for Frankie, Jinbei, who knows. But that being said, that's kind of the end of the chapter. I kind of sped through that review, so if you guys said anything else, let me know. But we have a break next week, so who knows, guys. Yeah.
It was good while it lasted.
It was good while it lasted. I'm shocked that both my counterparts here didn't discuss Momo's feelings in this chapter. You guys have no comments for Momo and his reaction to seeing Yamato?
Well, I think Momo doesn't really know who Yamato is, so I wasn't really too surprised. Was there something about like Momo's reaction that kind of stuck out to you?
No, not particularly, but what I find to be a little relieving was how Momo is now kind of trusting Yamato more. So seeing Momo do that, I wonder how that's going to play. But I guess that was just an offhand.
He's really got no choice. He's really got no choice. There's not that many. It's just him and old lady Shinobu, and the gas tank is empty on Shinobu, unfortunately.
Okay, you know what? That was a good point out. But more importantly, outside of Momo's, what do you guys rate this chapter? We need the ratings.
I'd go like 7. I'd give it a nice 7.
7. Okay. Josh, what about you?
I'm giving this one a 7. Wasn't as spicy as last week, but more. It was all good. It's always a good chapter. It always puts out quality, but I'm gonna give it a 7.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Oda does always put out quality. On my end, I have a controversial one. Do you guys think it's too controversial to give it a 6.5?
No.
Okay.
It was. I think we might look back on the 10-run chapter leading up to chapter 1000, and this could possibly be one of the slower ones, if not like. Don't want to say anything that's good is the worst, but something has to be the worst, and this one might be it.
Yeah. It was a funny tweet, but we can get into that later. But any other thoughts about? Yeah, there's a funny tweet out there, but we'll get into that in another episode. We'll save that for our additional things.
One thing I wanted to point out that Yamato said here, and this might just be the early translation or the early scan, but she mentioned that she was not strong enough. She said, that day I was not strong enough. And I just feel like that stands out, especially when it's right next to Momo, who is also feeling the same way. It stood out to me just as like kind of a parallel. She wasn't strong enough back then. He's not strong enough now. She is strong enough now. And he might be soon. I'm hoping he is. Obviously, that's a long shot and we'll see. But I did think it's interesting that that exact wording was used.
That was a good point out. Very good point out. Thanks.
I mean, this is really setting up. I know, Foodie, you don't like to hear it, but man, like Momo keeps being protected. Luffy doesn't like crybabies. Luffy keeps telling him, you gotta stand up for what you want, fight for what you want. I really do think that Oda is basically throwing it at us now that Momo is in some way, shape, or form going to be able to do something to Kaido to help Luffy conquer him in the end. So I don't know. I think this is good development. We're getting there slowly but surely. And as you guys said, yeah, it was one of the slower chapters, but a slow One Piece chapter is still a great One Piece chapter, and that's just how I take it.
100%. And one matchup, do you guys think that Apu is going to be beaten by Zoro on panel, off panel? I mean, I'd like to see Zoro take care of a supernova on panel, but I feel like this might be something that's skipped in the manga, unfortunately.
Apu has been such a weird character for me. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like, I just really don't know. I actually did think that Kid was going to be I thought Kid was gonna fight Apu. I didn't think Apu was gonna give Kid that much trouble.
I thought Kid paneled Apu last time.
And yeah, and you thought Apu got paneled. So again,
wrong.
I have zero idea what this guy is. Even Drake said he wants to take care of him. Are we gonna get like Drake and Apu? Like, who knows, man? Like, I'm here for it. Like, give me some supernova action. But yeah, guys. I mean, I don't know.
It'd be nice to see Zoro fight somebody who's like in the same like group as him, and you could say that he's like decisively better than another supernova, because it kind of does feel like being a first mate, you're kind of at the bottom of that whole rung of supernovas. But this is going to be a good test of strength for him, because we haven't really seen too much Zoro action in general. So it'd be nice if it happened where I could see it. But I have a feeling we might open up the next chapter and Apu's just dusted in a big spread.
Yep.
That's hilarious. But and also one final thing there, I really do think that Kevin made a point that a lot of people were expecting Wano to be Zoro's arc. A lot of people wanted a Zoro backstory, learn about his heritage. We still haven't gotten that yet, so definitely I know what you're saying. It doesn't seem like he's getting a lot of shine, but I do think that Oda is definitely saving that guy. So that being said, again, great chapter.
Great chapter.
Next week, so we'll still hit you guys with some content. We have a couple of ideas coming up for this week, so just stay tuned, and we'll be able to hit you guys with something.
Take care, everyone. Peace out.
Take care.